So, I finally had some time to play Persona 5 Royal, and gotta say, this game is doing exactly what I hoped it would do. I'm currently 70 hours in, and while I don't replay games often, given the fact that the types of games I enjoy are JRPGs that have 100 plus hour campaigns if you do everything in them, hello Xenoblade, this makes my return to Persona 5 feel a bit premature, I guess would be the right word. It hasn't even been 2 years since I first beat Persona 5, and so this return, while a bit early in my eyes, has still managed to be a welcome one nonetheless. By the way, if you like Persona, play Xenoblade. Both are lovely JRPG series that are finally reaching the mainstream, or something close to it, and I couldn't be happier. Now, a whole one of you must be wondering what improved so much in such a beloved game as Persona 5 that warrants a video dedicated to it. Is it the fact that Morgana doesn't make you sleep as much? Is it the fact that social stats are easier to grind out? No, but those two things do make the game a lot more liberating. Is it the Okumura Palace? I said they fixed, not made 10 times worse! No, people, you already know what I'm gonna talk about, and that is Mementos. Sweet Bank Palace in the sky above, Mementos went from being the absolute worst, and I mean completely undefendable garbage that I feel not enough members of the fandom talked about when they go on about this game. Seriously, Mementos in P5 Vanilla is like that one time of the year you have to clean out the gutters from your house and you find the most vile and horrific dredge mixed in with all the dirt and soot that accumulates over time, and as you're plucking this stuff out, you wonder why you didn't take care of it sooner. Too suburban a reference? Fair enough. Let me try this instead. You see, Mementos went from being a place that I dreaded going into because of its repetitive and grindy formula to a place that I now have fun in. Something which I thought was an impossible task, but the dev team at Atlus reminds us why they're the king of JRPGs yet again. This video will cover the ways in which I feel Mementos was improved overall, despite the nerfs to the Reaper Cheese and Pulimpa farming. To start, I believe I should cover the biggest change in the game that warrants discussion, and that is the addition of the egg boy, Jose. Jose is a new addition to Royal who is as useful as he is adorable. First off, even without Mementos, Jose is the reason you have showtimes, which are awesome, but not as awesome as what he does. You see, Jose, okay, I'm sorry, I can't do this. Listen, I can speak some Japanese, so I know that Sunnyside here is called Jose in Japanese. Look, I even put his name in katakana in my script, but I am Latino. This character's name to me is always going to be Jose, and I can't change the fact that Atlus's localization team doesn't have a single Spanish speaker on it. So look, Rayquaza, so long as we all agree that this character's name is On instead of being Ann, we'll get along fine. Really wanted to get that one off my chest. I'm still gonna make a ton of egg puns and references with him throughout the video though. Now with that tangent out of the way, let's go back to Jose, as Scrambled over here is researching humans because he isn't one, as he is clearly a male Hapini. His research focuses on these flowers, which are now a crucial gameplay aspect of Mementos, as scattered throughout all the floors are said flowers. What do? They serve as a currency which can be traded to Hollandaise for a plethora of items. Are said items useful? Come on, would I care so dearly for soft-boiled if they weren't? In exchange for a fixed number of flowers, you can get beneficial items for combat such as vials that inflict status ailments, which allow you to go for technicals more easily, transmutation items as you don't get as many from personas in this game, and best of all, SP restoring items. And I'm not just talking about measly soul drops, oh no, I'm talking full-on snuff souls and eventually chewing souls because Custard here has the hookup. On top of that, Shakshuka is the only source of SP restoring items that work in safe rooms, and they restore 20 SP to the entire party and later on 40%. Jose isn't just useful, he's downright broken, which matches the aesthetic of his cute little chrome dome. But if only his greatness stopped there, for in all of the omelet's magnanimous generosity, he has scattered 165 stamp dispensers all throughout Mementos. Just like flowers, these serve as another currency, but instead of getting items from trading them in, Jose will upgrade Mementos. Once you give him enough stamps, Jose can change Mementos so that you can get more money, more experience, and better items while exploring it. With each area having more stamps than the last, you are actively encouraged to explore Mementos in order to get greater rewards from it. Take that, Tartarus! There's also the fact that the quiche can upgrade the accessories you get from gathering the will seeds from each palace, which are already useful as they are, but he can make them even better. I love huevos rancheros, and it's not just because he pairs well with my love of putting hot sauce on eggs. Don't judge me, you probably can't make eggs as fluffy and Gordon Ramsay-esque as this. But now that I've addressed the third partner in Thousand Year Door, we move on to the next improvement on the itinerary, which is Skull. In Persona 5 Vanilla, upon reaching rank 7 with Ryuji, you unlock his Insta-Kill ability. Something that was more of a burden than it was a benefit. You see, in the original, Ryuji's Insta-Kill worked differently, and not in a good way. The way it worked is that if you ambush an enemy that was much weaker than you, you would just get their mask, which was worthless to you as you don't really need fusion fodder in this game. This ability was so bad that some fans of the original actively advised against furthering his confidant because of how this ability neutered combat for them. I personally don't remember it being that bad in the palaces, but man was it annoying in Mementos. So, how does Royal fix this? In Royal, you still get Insta-Kill at rank 7, but it has been completely reworked. Now, if you sprint into an underleveled shadow, you get money, reduced experience, potentially items from the fight, and a mask, which is useful this time, but I'll get into that later. If you're worried about being too overleveled from using this mechanic, don't be, because unlike Royal, this mechanic is totally optional and doesn't force you to work around the core gameplay mechanics to make use of it. However, if you're just slogging through weaker encounters, it is immensely satisfying slamming into these shadows as you slowly power up and watch your money soar into the millions. Atlas definitely took all the feedback they got from angry gamers and made Ryuji even better in Royal because he the homie. Now, remember how I said masks are useful now? Like 30 seconds ago? That's because there's another mechanic that complements this ability, the fusion alarm. The fusion alarm goes off after you win enough battles, and this includes fights ended by Ryuji's insta-kill. This gives you opportunities to itemize personas so you can get better skill cards, weapons, or gear, the chance to juice your personas to get more experience out of them, or to fuse them and get new personas with potentially better abilities. Fusion is key here, as after fusing personas when the alarm is active, the fused persona will have this golden glow in their text. Fusing this golden persona with another persona can cause the guillotine to malfunction, which can be good as Caroline will botch the fusion and you will get a completely random persona with 8 random skills, which in my experience have come in one of 2 forms. The first type is the persona that gets 1 drain skill and 7 other random passives, but the second type is incredible as you can get powerful physical skills or dying level skills as soon as the mechanic is available, giving you access to powerful spells and attacks way sooner than you'd normally unlock them. This is an entirely optional mechanic, as to trigger the botch fusion, you have to fuse the persona while the alarm is already active, and there's no way for you to do this accidentally. If you're not a fan of it, you can ignore this mechanic as well. The same goes for the initial fusion effects of the alarm, where if you fuse a persona for the first time, you can have 2 or 3 skills get randomly selected to be changed. Usually it's an upgrade, but sometimes you can get complete trash, so it's a risk-reward system, but you have to go all or nothing. Or you can just completely ignore this too. And this brings us to the final change that enhances Mementos, the twins. Specifically their confidant. In the original, maxing out the twins' confidant gave you the ability to fuse any persona, including personas that were higher level than you. The trade-off for
infinite power
was that you had to pay a fee, which could sometimes get a bit pricey, but this was a late game ability, so you just went nuts with it. What does all this have to do with Royal? Those botched personas you get. They're mostly random. I don't know if there's a system that can help you figure out which personas you get from those fusions, but the point here is that those personas you get can be ones you may not find for several palaces, and you can fuse them with your current ones after the alarm goes away, meaning you can get super personas early on, because that reward that the twins gave you at rank 10 in the original is now given to you as early as rank 5, which makes this confidant the single most powerful one in the game. Forget Chihaya's money readings, Yoshida's negotiation perks, Oya's... See, this confidant is so powerful, I already forgot what Oya does for you. Not that it was any good to begin with. And once again, I reiterate, all of these wonderful additions are completely optional. So, if you want to break Royal harder than Joker does Futaba and Dojin, don't lie to me, most of you know what I'm talking about, then you can, but if you want to play your own way, then you are completely free to do so, which is something I can't give Royal enough credit for. Now before I end this video, there's one final thing I want to talk about, and no, it's not how awful my subscriber to viewer ratio is, although holy shit, can some of you help a homie out. I know I come from an era of YouTube where you look like a shill if you ask people to like, comment, subscribe, but Yaldabouth, damn, can some of you help a man out here? The only person more screwed than me is Joker and a hen- oh wait, I already made that joke. Damn it, I went on another tangent! What I actually wanted to say is that there is one improvement greater than all of these combined that on its own would have made Mementos leagues better than the original, but Atlas did so much more. Listen, I know what it is, you know what it is, and most of Twitter probably knows what it is. I'd hype this up more, but you've already experienced it throughout the whole video, because I'm talking about the bangers we got in Mementos now. I'm the Omni Blade, and for the love of everything, please like, comment, and subscribe, hit that bell, these analytics are depressing!